Hello class and welcome to Math Minutes. This is video number 15. Get your notebooks out, turn to page 16, and we're going to look at how to add fractions. Adding and subtracting fractions, there is one big rule when adding or subtracting fractions, and that is denominators must be the same. Let's look at these examples. For example, these fractions can be added or subtracted. Why? Well, what's the denominator in these two? 4. These are the same, so they can be added. These are also the same. 5 and 5, they can be added. 8 and 8, they can be subtracted. Voila, simple as that. Here's some examples of fractions that cannot be added, unless we do another step, and we're going to learn that next. But let's look at these fractions. 1/2 plus 3/4. We cannot add those as is because a 2 and a 4 are different. Same with 5/6 minus 2/3. I cannot subtract these yet because they do not have the same denominator. And our last example, 1/8 plus 4/5 as well cannot be added in this condition because an 8 and a 5 are different denominators. So, big rule, denominators must be the same. If they do have the same denominator, also called like fractions. When 2 or 3 or 4, as many fractions as you have, if they all have the same denominator, they're called like fractions. Like they like each other because they're all in the same little club. For example, 2/9 plus 3/9. I'm simply going to add the numerators. 2 plus 3 is 5, and I'm going to keep the denominator. Whereas multiplication, I'm going to multiply the numerators and the denominators. When I'm adding or subtracting, I only have to add or subtract the numerators, and I keep the denominator. That's why it's so important that your two denominators are the same. That way you know what number is going to be in that denominator in your final answer. So let's do a few problems together. 3/4 minus 1/4. Well, I can do this right away. I know that my 4 is going to stay the same. I just have to figure out what's 3 minus 1. We have 2. We could reduce that to 1/2. 6/11 plus 2/11. Again, I'm going to keep that denominator. Don't have to do anything with it except transfer it over. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8/11. 7/9 minus 5/9. Again, we have like denominators, so all I have to do, 7 minus 5 is 2. I have 2/9. And our last one, 12ths in our denominator. 5 plus 6 is 11. So when you're coming up on your homework and you've got adding and subtracting fractions, this is the page that you can use to refer to remember the simple rule, but very important, that your denominators must be the same. Bring your completed notebooks to class, and I'll see you next class.